Uh, all right. Welcome
Okay.
to using technology to monitor student behavior. All right, Marguerite. So, what did you think about these apps?
Well, first I have to say thank you for sending me such great sites. They were so helpful on the Dojo and the Smart Seat. So it was great to get a look at those because it was not only about the app itself, it was also how teachers who have used it thought about it. So I thought that that was great. I've never used Dojo or any of those, so it was something brand new to me. With Dojo, I don't know if you will agree with me or not, but I think Dojo is great for younger students. I don't know how well it would do with
Yes.
anything above elementary.
Right.
I think some of its benefits were that it had an option to do both positive and negative reinforcement. I think it's great that they have real-time feedback to the students. I think that it can be a distraction if it's not used consistently, because then it could just
Right.
serve as just like a little filler for the teachers. What do you think about that?
I agree. I do like Dojo because it is comprehensive for behavior. I do think it takes time to navigate and learn about it, and we're so pressed with time as it is with teachers. So I think a lot of figuring out the app and the other apps has to be outside of class time, and that just eats up more planning time for us. But I do like the dojo, definitely for younger students. I can't see my high school students really appreciating.
Yeah, no.
I just think it would be condescending for them. And
Yeah.
so I see the benefit in it, but I think we have to be careful too. What if we only did the negative behaviors? We have to include some positive behaviors and skills in there and catch them being good too. So I think we might fall into the trap of just always recognizing the bad, even with using technology.
Yeah.
So, oops. All right.
All right. I think our video went out. Is yours out?
Okay, I think we're back up. I'm not sure what's going on. Hold on. All right.
But just as long as it's still recording, I think that should be
Okay, so we'll
okay.
be okay. All right. So I don't, you know what? I'm sitting here thinking, did I even answer the question you asked me? I just,
I just said what you thought about the dojo. I think it was a pretty general question, so you
okay,
pretty
okay,
got
good.
on that. And I was going to agree with you on the feedback as well. That we can get into just doing a lot of negative feedback. And there was something else I found kind of weird about the negative feedback. Well, it was more of taking points away.
Right,
There was no option to comment on why the teacher is taking points away.
right,
So if a parent sees their child got points taken away, they don't know why. It's just points are taken away. So I thought that
right.
that was a little a con to the dojo.
I really like that point that you just made because taking away points with no explanation, how are we explaining what they did or did not do? And then that confusion of not understanding
Yeah.
the
Well.
expectations for them. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And as a
Yeah.
parent, I could see me calling the teacher a lot.
Definitely, yeah,
And
and
then
it's hard because it's a busy day, especially for elementary students, and with so many students. Because I'm lucky to have just maybe at most 10 students in my classroom, and with the up to 30 students, it's like after a long day, you might even forget why you took the point away. You know what I mean?
right,
So
exactly. Very good. And so I did, the original three that I did say to review, I just randomly picked them. It was the instant classroom and the, what was it? Smart
the smart seat, yeah.
smart seat. And then I realized they were pretty much the same thing. They were just doing seating charts. And the only difference with the instant classroom was you can create games. Like the Jeopardy game
Oh,
and
I didn't see that. That's
the
great
match
to
game.
know.
So I really liked that you could create games with that. Um, but then the smart seat was just a seating chart. And I don't know if it's because I'm old school. can draw it out on graph paper. So,
Yeah, I know. It just
but
might make things more difficult, but then there are teachers who are very, into the technology and that sort of thing. But
right.
I'm with you on that. I would just write it down. I like to have it in front of me that way. I think that putting the technology would make it a little bit more difficult. But I did like the way it had. I think it was smart. Yeah, Smart Seat had a option to do the attendance every day and then just upload it to an
Yeah.
email. So I thought that
Yeah.
that was great to just send to the director or whoever they send the
Yeah.
attendance to.
I did
So,
like that too. And when I was in the classroom, I don't even remember the software used, but there was like a software that the school had paid for, and we did the attendance that way. But there was no option for seating charts. So I guess that brings me to why I opted to review. We opted to review a fourth one, that Super Duper data tracker, because I wanted to do more than just review 2 apps on the seating charts. I really like the data tracking because for me, working with students with IEPs, we have a lot of data to track. We have the data to track if they're progressing in their IEP goals, and then a lot of behavioral on task data to track as well. So I created in Excel how to track IEP goal progress and behavioral and doing homework and being respectful. So this would have come in handy too. And I kept track of test scores and all the content classes and the standardized test scores as well. So this would have come in handy for me, and I wouldn't have had to create all these formulas and tracking 30 students in a Microsoft Excel
yeah.
spreadsheet. So I did like this one.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't know
think
what
that
your
it was
thoughts were.
I think it was a great it was a great option for it was kind of like the dojo in a way, but it was a
Right.
better option for high school or middle school students, I think.
Yes.
And then it was great that you can customize the goals for each student instead of like in dojo, they give you all of the positive
General.
and negative feedback where you can put and take away the points. But this one was more for like older people. I think, like you said,
Yes.
giving the dojo to the older kids would not be so great. I think that this one was good that you can send your observations and things to the students. You can email it to them, and the teacher and the student both have the goals. So it was great how they tracked the progress of each student in that way.
Yep.
Um,
I
1 second. Can you see me?
I can.
You can? I
Yeah,
can't
I
see you.
can.
So turn on your
Everybody.
radio.
What is going on?
At the bottom, I think if you just touch your screen, maybe, or I don't know if you're on a laptop or.
It's
I'm
it's
almost.
showing it's showing
I'm
that
almost closer to a picture of you.
it's showing that it's on. So
Oh, is
I'll
it?
click it. I'll click it
Maybe.
off and on again.
Yeah.
Did it work? I like clicked it on and off a few times.
No, I don't
No?
see it, but it might be on my end as well. Who knows?
All right, I'll try again. No, I apologize.
It's okay. It's all right. I can see your beautiful picture, so still talking to you, kind of.
It's better than the live version right now anyway. So this overall, I see the benefits of all the apps, but I do feel, and I think, we talked about this before, we're distracting from the person to person contact. If we could use the technology and then have, some time to connect with the students as well, to explain what's happening. Like, I would have weekly meetings with my students and show them the Excel spreadsheet on the data tracking that I did with them, and we would talk about, what went well that week, what didn't go well, what can they do next week to get their attendance up, or how, and some of my students had certain teachers that they didn't get along with. So I would say, how could, what can you do to show more respect for Miss Smith and math class? So we would have those meetings, but I had the luxury of those meetings because I only had 30 students being a resource room teacher. being an elementary teacher or content teacher having hundreds of students in a week, I can't see that happening for them. It's just logistically not possible, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing for homeroom teachers, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, that sort of thing. I do agree with you that I don't think it should stop there. I mean, I understand the use of technology and everything in the classroom, and it'll help. It'll give them motivation to adjust their behavior, but I still feel that other strategies need to be practiced along with the dojo
Yes.
to encourage like social emotional learning, smiles, conversation.
Yes.
I think that it should not take the place of all of those things is what I'm
Yes.
trying to say.
I
So
agree. It
I
should be incorporated with it. Absolutely. And then,
Yeah, so it's like a tool to use it as a
yes,
tool. And the instant classroom and the smart seat, I believe that those are more of organization tools for the teacher,
yes,
not really for behavior.
behavior. I
So
agree.
so I think that
And
it can be used simply the smart seat and the instant classroom. Dojo is more of having to incorporate it into your class every single day. I do like the privacy of it because they could make anonymous avatars, or I believe I read that somewhere that they could do so that they post it up on the board or something. They don't know
right,
the students don't know who has which points and that sort of thing. So
right. Um, my final thought on it, and please add to it. I just think there are too many choices, and for the newer and novice teachers, and it was for me several years ago, it's very overwhelming. There's just too many options. So if I would love to see a comprehensive app that does the data tracking, the seating charts, the game creations, the the behavior management, just have a comprehensive app and put it all together. There's too many choices, too many duplicates, and it gets overwhelming to figure out which one you're going to use. And we're wasting more time exploring all of them. So that was my final thought on it.
yeah, I have to completely agree with you on that. There's so much, and then when you start doing one and you need to do the other. So if we're doing dojo, but we also need a seating chart. That's the thing. Dojo didn't have the seating chart. Dojo didn't have the options to set groups the way the smart seat did in instant classroom. Dojo didn't have the options to take attendance and that sort of thing. So you're completely right. If there was all of these all together and go when we had one place to use it all, it would make our lives so much more simple.
Yes.
I did like the dojo for the fact that they could connect to the parents and
Yeah. Yeah.
send pictures of their work there during the day,
Yeah. I
and
like that.
not having to post it on Facebook and that sort of thing because there's ethical issues on
Right.
that. So I really like that. But like I said, only with elementary students, and I think that if you're going to start using dojo, it's not like, okay, we're going to do this one day out of the month. It's an everyday thing,
It's
so
cut.
it might
Yes.
take up a lot of time. So I think that we would need a lot of training on using the dojo before
Right.
we incorporate it into the classroom.
No,
So
good points. I agree. Is there anything else you wanted to add that maybe we didn't cover? I think the overall pros to all of them is, yes, to help us organize. We definitely like the data tracking. And the possible negatives would be distraction from the interpersonal contact and relationship with
for sure.
with the students and the parents, time consuming, and too many to choose from, which is time consuming to figure them out, and that maybe a more comprehensive app with all of it included would definitely be beneficial. So was there anything that you wanted
I
to add?
I completely agree with you. I just have one last question for you. Which one out of all of these four would you use in your teaching?
The super duper data tracker. I would use that one in a heartbeat. Yeah.
I see that working actually for you since you're going to be working with older students. I would try to get to know Dojo a little bit more and probably incorporate it into my classroom. Because of the pictures and because the school I work at, the parents love to be involved. So I think that they
Gotcha.
would just love this. So, but I would really have to get to know it a lot more and
Right.
practice it maybe with a smaller class and then proceed with it. So,
Yeah, good idea. And I do see the benefits of dojo working for you and other elementary school teachers. I just don't see it practical for me in my teaching
yeah, I
situation,
agree.
you
Yeah.
know. But I just great perspectives. Thank you so much. And
Thank you. It was great chatting with you and
yeah,
collaborating
same
with
here.
you on this
Same
again.
here. Same here,
All right.
Marguerite. Have a
You
good
have a
one.
great day. Thank you, Rita.
You
Bye
too. Bye
bye.
bye.